got gear up. What's that? What's that? Oh, look at this! Look at this! Now you're going to be glad we went live, Jilly. Look at that. Look at your screen. Morning, folks. Oh, just getting into good afternoon, should I say. Wow. That Dreamliner, believe it or not, that Dreamliner going to Zurich. How about that? Interesting. Quite low cloud coverage, got to be said. DFW bound 777-300ER. Could see some cloud busting today. So I reckon these clouds, this cloud base is a couple of thousand feet, if that. Let's just have a little look, see when she goes in. And I'll just go straight to my Plane Finder app. Still that. She's gone. 1,600 feet. Wow, that can't be right. Surely not. Look what's in town, folks. Here we go. Look at this beautiful bird. Singapore Airlines A350 900. Straight out. XWBs. You notice how the undercarriage doesn't, wow, little bit of a thermal departure there. Notice how the undercarriage doesn't pivot like the 777. She's only got 4 cart undercarriage anyway, 4 trucks, as opposed to the 3 truck system on the remember trucks from the old skateboard days. Remember the old, look at that, look what's in town there, folks. So, good morning, and a very warm welcome to Big Jet TV, folks, here, live from London Heathrow. I know we'll lose a load of viewers right now because some people have got a very short attention span. I just want to see planes, not interested in the bloke standing in front of the camera, not interested at all. How are you doing, folks? Right, watch it all go. Anyway, good morning. Great thing is, do you want an ice cream? Great thing is that, or candy floss, isn't it? Great thing is that we have, for today, the first time in the history of Big Jet TV, tested out the notification system on the app Big Jet TV Live is the app that you need to go to your app store, folks, Android or iOS, whichever one it is, and join in the fun. Basically, the main purpose of the app is so that you don't miss a thing. It's far more reliable than YouTube or Facebook. You may even prefer to turn off your notifications on YouTube and Facebook for Big Jet TV if you so desire, because your app will be, it's completely free, folks. No in-store purchases, none of that old malarkey. It's just good, honest notifications. That's what we have created this app for. You can also get involved as well and send us your feedback as well, which we've already received so many wonderful feedback forms from people, members and non-members, and we really appreciate it as well. So what are we here for, folks? Well, we got two shows today. This one, the first one that we've put together. In fact, I can see her. This is BOAC, folks. This could potentially be a very sad day for us all aviation geeks around the world. It seems like only yesterday that over there in that hangar we welcomed the first of British Airways Retro Liveries here at London Heathrow, February last year. The 747 in the BOAC, British Overseas Airways Corporation livery, celebrating 100 years, and she's now basically being taken down to Cardiff. Now, we're not 100% sure. We don't like to speculate. We do have a number of people that we can rely very heavily on in terms of information that's coming from British Airways about the aircraft and so on and so forth. But we still prefer to wait until we get the official word. Now, apparently, she's going down to Cardiff. Whether she's going to be going down there for a maintenance check, whether she's going down there for storage, because as so many people are aware, Cardiff is a British Airways maintenance facility, so they will go down there for maintenance. Major maintenance checks. Of course, they go through on-wing checks and general maintenance here at London Heathrow in the hangars over there. A huge facility with British Airways over here. Of course, it being their main hub here in the UK, or global hub, it has to be said. So we are we're expecting the aircraft to depart here around about midday, and we can talk about her. We can talk about her experiences. No doubt we will be having some people on here who will remember all the way back to the BOAC days. I certainly do. VC-10s, 707s and the like here at London Heathrow. I just want to also read out a quick couple of messages from Robert Colborne. Love the app. Thank you for all the work on this. Amazing and so good, Robert is saying. And he also mentioned... Morning, thank you for all the great news you do, Jilly and Jerry. I wonder if you have the clip of the Jambo jet flying over Richmond Park before you were moved. Unfortunately, it was a great shame, it has to be said. But I'll be honest with you, folks, I didn't think about it in terms of Richmond Park, Royal Park, so on and so forth, in terms of filming permits and the like. It's kind of rare that happens these days in terms of going into a park and filming. But, hey, well, actually, to be honest with you, it may actually be that because it's a public place, you do have to get permission. But anyway, nonetheless, the police officer was only doing his job, and I completely respect that. But we still managed to get a little glimpse of the Red Arrows and the Patrouille de France. But anyway, he goes on to say, just the film of Jambo is all I would like, he's saying. Do you, thanks to your show, and this is important. Thanks to your show, I flew for the first time on Jambo to Nairobi, night flight alone. You inspired me to fly at 71, never flown before, and what a great experience. Well, I'll tell you what, That makes me very humbled. And Robert, it is an absolute pleasure. And of course, we will send you that footage. Was that actually him landing the one at Richmond Park, Gilly? I don't know. But even so, there was another email. Where's the one with the fellow who's 103, Gilly, or 93, or... Okay, folks, we got a young lady who messaged us the other day to basically say that she looks after a chap who's 93 years old, or 93 years young, should I say, and quite possibly our most I wouldn't like to say old, because I don't like to use the word old. I'd say mature member here on Big Jet TV. 93 years old. He's got into Big Jet TV and loves it. What's his name, Gilly? Peter Jones, not the Dragon's Den Peter Jones, but Peter Jones. If you're watching right now, Peter, thank you so much for your support, and great to see you here. Hopefully this will be a little bit nostalgic for you as well, seeing this BOAC 747, because I'm sure you'll remember back in the day when the BOAC livery was adorned on all of the pre-British Airways aircraft. So let's get on with the show. We'll talk about this Boeing 747 and your experiences on here. I'll come to your comments. Of course, it is members only comments, Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, let's get on with the show. Just to remind you that we're going to do this piece, then we're going to break it down. Then we're going to come back for a very good friend of ours, Andrew Buddery. He's a captain with Virgin Atlantic. He, along with his colleagues, are going to be flying out of London Heathrow on a PPE flight out to Shanghai, I think it is, on a Dreamliner, and we're going to catch that for him and his fellow crew members, and then we're going to stay on through to darkness here on summer solstice day. It is the summer solstice. So after this, I'll break it down, go off, get myself set up, make sure that I've got enough food and provisions to last me right the way through till 10 o'clock, and then we'll have a good show later on. So we've got an approaching aircraft now. So come to your comments. Enjoy the show, folks. Come on now. Okay, interesting to see that. Did it? Well. Okay, there we go. Okay. Just missed, unfortunately, the Etihad Dreamliner 10 whilst we were going on air. Emirates freighter that came in, went out, sorry. Emirates 777-300ER came in, and I believe, if I'm right in saying, that this is another Emirates 777-300 on its way in now. Let's just have a double check on that. Indeed, it is KLM 737 on its way out. Have we got any Dutch fans in the house? Okay, let's just go order lock to never. Got a great question coming from Andrew Buddery as well. Good friend of mine, known him a long time. Long before he actually became a pilot. He's always been a good friend. Lived in Sussex, where I grew up, and he as well. Good to see Royal Brunei in town as well. Normally we would see them park their aircraft parked over at Terminal 4 and then parked on remote stand for the best part of the day. Usually go out around about 7 p.m. In the evening. 7 p.m. in the evening, yeah, I think that makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, here we go. Don't forget, folks, another 747 departure with Virgin Atlantic. Off to the Scrappers in Spain next week from Manchester. We'll be live for that. Don't miss it. Make sure you put it in your diary. We'll, of course, put it on the app as well and give you all the notifications you need. Here we go. bus. Wow. Paul Waddington, Northwest Ambulance Services, giving a shout out to you folks out there. Of course, frontline workers, very hard workers indeed. And thank you for everything you do. All of the ambulance drivers and workers and personnel who work in the services. Of course, NHS, little bit of a respite, not respite, but a little bit of a, you know, reduction in their workload, so to speak, which is obviously always a good thing in terms of the amount of people that are being admitted to hospital. So therefore, reducing the payload, should I say, on those folks at the front line. Yes, there we go, Chile 1, YouTube 0. We beat YouTube on the notifications. How about that? Fantastic. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Of course, right now across the world, 5:36 a.m. in my kind of town, Chicago is. 3:36 a.m. in Los Angeles. Wow. Of course, 11:36 here in good old Londonian. 6:37 p.m. in Singapore. Good evening to everybody out there on the east, in the east. And of course, Sydney, 8:37 and 10:37 in Christchurch. So we're just about hanging in there on the east side. With all our friends out there in Australia and New Zealand and of course China, and hope everybody's doing well wherever you are. Of course it is, let's be honest, it's a great shame, a huge shame to experience the loss of anybody or anything that's you know, that's personal to you. You know, so many people have lost loved ones, regardless of whether they're family or friends or whoever. It is a great shame. To us, aviation fans, we are gritting our teeth as to whether or not, you know, the coronavirus has literally put nails into the coffin. This guy's going out, intersect right in front of us, I think. For the Boeing 747. Let's hope not, folks. But for freighters and the like, we'll still see them for the very long future, long term. She's still here for the long term, but in terms of the passenger variant, it's another story. This guy is going out right in front of us, folks. Anybody from New Zealand right now? So new measures being tested out here at, it wasn't actually London Heathrow. Was it London Heathrow? Or is it, or in the UK in general? A company is offering people coming into the UK the option to pay for a COVID test. And they are hoping that it may result in the government relaxing restrictions slightly, so that if you prove negative, if your test comes back negative, then you can continue on with your with whatever it is you're here to do, whether you're here on business or to see family, or whatever it might be that you're here to do. Whether that's going to become official or not, we don't know, but it is the latest in the news coming from COVID-19 travel restrictions here in the UK. Then you can... Mind that. Okay, got a shout out for a few members. TC27, okay, TC. Good day to you. David Andrews, good morning to you. And Benjamin Clark, welcome to first class, Benjamin. Chicky A, taking off fast, wasting no time. Good morning. I'm going to run a few names across here, and if I can see any comments, I will read them out. Adrian, MG53, Daryl Green, are Boeing still making parts for the 747? No is the answer to that, Daryl. Any parts you need will be in the spares inventory that is global. So basically, what will happen to these Boeing 747s, like the Virgin 747 that we're seeing retiring out of Manchester recently, all the usable componentry on board the aircraft, electronics, flight, possibly all the usable flight instruments on board the aircraft, flaps, slats, moving parts. Elevators, rudder, all those parts that, you know, can wear out or just need new parts, you know, pumps, hydraulic systems, undercarriage, wheels, tyres, galleys. There's obviously a lot of reusable parts. And of course, the 747 with Virgin Atlantic runs the CF6 engine, still very widely used across the aviation industry, especially on, of course, the 767, the A330, of course, the 767 probably not going to be in use in terms of the passenger variants for many, many more years, but for the foreseeable future, most definitely. And of course, other 747s that are running the CF6 engine are freighters. We've seen a lot of ex-passenger aircraft, some ex-freighters, or indeed current freighters in the 747 market using the CF6 engine, as well as obviously the RB211s on the 747. The RB211s with the 747s with British Airways, that's an engine which will, you know, there's going to be a big surplus of them, but there will be availability there. And of course, there are a lot of companies that specialise in breaking these aircraft and engines down into their spare parts and individual components, shelving them, putting them on the shelves, offering them, you know, as spare parts, and having an inventory. Cynthia Seek, good day to you, Cynthia. Nigel Nixon, Laura Ribbons, Simon Knock, Nigel Harrison, John Murphy, Thomas Forrest, Harry Arnold, Chicky, Scott Tarpley, Phil Sky, Mark Willis, Scott Tarpley and his merry band of friends right there on the homepage of the app, which was pretty good. John Grimman looking good, looking great. The Emirates 777-300. I've got to be honest with you, folks. I know we've discussed this. I mentioned it last week. I do prefer, and of course, a lot of people are going to prefer the Emirates in the Expo livery. But I think in its traditional style, like that, is nothing better. But there we go. Michael Cooper. We have the Singapore Airlines 747 freighter due in this evening, folks. We will be here to catch that live. I'm going to go right the way through till darkness. We're going to have a break after this 747 goes out. We can see her from a distance. Very poignant, it has to be said, for a lot of people. Obviously, that's just through these sort of, like, you know, through the keyhole look at her at the moment. But of course, over the other side of the field, Becca Odell asking for a shout out for her 4-year-old son. Is it Kurt? Kurt. G'day, Kurt. Welcome, mate. Enjoy the planes, my friend. So we're in it for the long haul today, folks. It is, after all, summer solstice, the longest day. And a big happy birthday to Paul Hudson, Captain Hudson, for tomorrow. Whether we're going to be up here, we don't know. We'll have to see. I do have a ride planned for tomorrow. 350, look at this. It's Qatar One World again. Look at this beautiful aircraft. Wow. Yeah. Gotta love that, what some people would classify as a plain looking livery, forgive the pun. But I do like the white of the One World with just the tail livery. Of course, that's another area of the industry that we have to consider, is just how these air alliances are going to continue in terms of whether they are going to still manage to, whether they need to actually club together even more in these very hard times. Of course, James the Av Geek, welcome to first class full membership right here on Big Jet TV. You are more than welcome. Michael Cooper upgraded to first class. Thank you, Michael. We've got Cynthia there. Dylan Hutchinson, welcome Dylan to Big Jet TV. Oman Air's Dreamliner there, folks. Haven't seen her in town for quite some time. So that is the one thing that this has kind of like brought us, are these sort of like, you know, what we would normally see as common here at London Heathrow, some of the aircraft that we're welcoming back here. And of course, July the 1st, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm aware, in terms of the first, I think he might come all the way down here unless he's going to park around the other side. In terms of airlines returning into service, of course, we have seen, in terms of short haul stuff, EasyJet getting back into the swing of things, but one of a good long-standing friend of ours in the airline industry is, of course, Norwegian down at Gatwick, old Red Nose. We're hearing that on July the 1st they're going to be resuming operations into London Gatwick, and we're obviously going to do our best to be there to witness that and welcome them back at London Gatwick. Also, don't forget that we've got, again, like I said, next Wednesday, it's planned, I think it's next Wednesday, for the Boeing 747, the penultimate 747 departure, last one, second to last one, going out from Manchester down to Spain. Every one of these aircraft have been piloted by the same crew. Couple of great guys. The last departure was a very steep and fast one, and so expect to see more or less the same sort of thing, and with the most amazing wing wave, it has to be said. Obviously, you know, I'd imagine that in terms of a wing wave you could do as much as you like, but obviously not tipping her on her side. But you know, it must be an amazing thing to do with a big jet like that, is to be tipping those wings left and then right. And of course, the one thing that, if you've ever flown a simulator, one thing that you notice, one of the first things you notice is the delay. If you swing the wheel to the left, or the yoke, or whatever, the stick, there is literally a second or two's delay in terms of the aircraft reacting to your input. So when you're doing a wing wave, specifically, you need to allow for that massive change in direction very, very quickly, and sort of like preempt it coming back as well, I'd imagine. Something that we'll get to talk to one of the pilots I have no doubt in the future about, you know, performing a wing wave and things that you need to be aware of when you're doing such a manoeuvre, because it's obviously not the sort of thing we see every day. If you remember on Big Jet TV, we caught was it Iberia's A350 going out of Toulouse, doing a most incredible wing wave as well, sort of along the same lines as the Boeing 747, Virgin 747 at Manchester a couple of weeks back. Of course, a big shout out to all the folks at Manchester, both the guys and girls who work airside, and of course the security teams, the local police, a great bunch of people, always very welcomed up there, and always welcomed by the local aviation community as well. Okay, Pav, Andy Lasky, Phil Martin, new members, and Pav 007. Pav 007. He wants a shout out. I'll come to that if I can. Sorry, folks, there's just so many. Pav 007. Hi, Jerry. Nice to see you're out. Finally joined. Could you do a shout out for my daughter working hard on weekend schoolwork, Jasleen, who's watching too. Jasleen, welcome to Big Jet TV, and keep working hard. Good to see you, because obviously, you know, a lot of the school children and youngsters, whichever age, school age they might be, either being quite strict on their schooling during the lockdown, others not being so strict. But looks like Jasleen is working hard. That's great to see. Of course, a lot of people do run Big Jet TV on in the background in their offices and at home on the big screen, and wait for a moment to happen. Like now, we're going to have a bit of a lull, so I'm going to be waffling on for a bit, but that is a beautiful looking aircraft. Nice, yes. So we're running fully at yes. Zoe Clayton. G'day, Zoe. Welcome to Big Jet TV. Yeah, looks like the app is 100%. It's running at full tilt already. So that's belly freight coming out of ULDs, which is interesting to see. Haven't seen ULDs for a while. Normally it's boxes of PPE. Hearing from a number of different people, one particular interview that I read the other day with Paul Stoddart, saying that the PPE freight industry will be running for a long time. So we will continue to see freighters in the sky, and airlines utilising aircraft for PPE shipments, much like British Airways have done. Swiss Air, saw a time-lapse video the other day on LinkedIn with Swiss Air doing a tear out of their seating. Obviously the seats are taken and stored for when they're needed again. The A346X Virgin Atlantic Airbus A346 aircraft also have been all the seats have been removed in I think both of their aircraft now, possibly maybe not both, but certainly one of them, purely so that they can maximise the capacity inside the cabin for PPE boxes. Mark Rice, welcome to membership, Mark. And there we have Zoe Clayton. WWNB Gaming, is that Cathay's A359? Very possibly, WWNB. They have been operating their 350. Oh, look at this Air China 350 on the push now. Because there is a obviously that's Qatar's 350 there. As you can see, there's a rounded leading edge to the tail, to the vertical stabilizer, and basically looking at those two in comparison, it looks very much like that is Cathay's A359, I'd imagine. Delta A330 there in town. A much sort of like more a thinner leading upper part of the vertical stabilizer on the 777 compared to the A350. As you can see there's that sort of like rounded leading edge, whereas it's a lot more sort of like angular, straight edged on the 777. Let's hopefully get a start up on this. There it goes. Wow. The one somebody said that they're going out from gate whatever it was, BA, is it BA? Was it a narrow body? Is it a narrow body? Is it local or? Oh, okay. Wow, look at all these new members, man. Christopher Alexopoulos, good morning to you, my friend. Dave McBride, welcome to Big Jet TV. Karen Langley, hi Jerry, the Langleys are watching. G'day, the Langleys! Sitting there with their cups of tea and nice little CEO, British Airways, touching down. An engine that's IAE, International Aero Engines, only used on the Airbus, the minibus, should I say. Brian Moss, welcome to Big Jet TV membership. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. If I miss your comment, please don't think I'm ignoring anybody. It's just there are so many comments, we have to put it down by. Is it 50% you're on at the moment, Julie, or what? Comments. Sorry. No, speed. Sorry. Oh, slow-mo, yeah. Okay, wow. 60-second delay on comments. Wow. Flaps and slats. And she's moving. Triple on approach. Triple on approach. Qatar triple, wow. Of course, folks, don't forget what we're here for. A very poignant moment today as British Airways ferry their BOAC 747 Super Retro Jumbo down to their maintenance facility in Cardiff. This is not a breaker facility, folks, so don't think for one moment that at this point in time there's still no word, no official word on what's going to happen to her, but we are of course hoping that she's just going down there for a checkup from the neck up, and she'll be back. Qatar 777 inbound, folks. Good morning, Clive, Everly, Katrina, Mikey van der Aaron, John Hucklesby. Great to see Mike in the house so often now. He's a regular now, isn't he? He's back. Mikey's back. Can't wait to get back out there, folks, to Schiphol, see our good friend Mikey van der Aaron, his amazing car. Qatar in their stocker livery. Stared. Very little demand on the engines for reverse thrust. All about the brakes and the ground spoilers, which have already been retracted. So that's all down to the brakes now. Oh, sorry about that. So I'll just roll it all the way out there. You can roll it all the way down. Nice, easy turn off. And I think also there's a possibility that the systems on board that aircraft, it maybe have an auto turn off setting that you can input. Air Canada 777. How do I know that's a 777, folks? How do I know that? Look at the back end of it. What's the most significant part of that is like no other aircraft? The APU, the big wedge. Only visible on one side, of course. The exit, that is, of the APU. I don't know if you can see it on the... There you go. You can see on the Emirates, the other side. Blanked off. Oh, scratch and sniff number 3, folks. Scratch and sniff number 3. Little Neo going out. Here we go. What's that, GP? Wow, Turkish Dreamliner on approach. This is a first, folks. Seen their 777 already in this morning. Here we go. Lovely little set of gulpers on this thing. Could go up early with this headwind. Early-ish. So still keeping an eye on BOAC, folks, not moving at the moment. So there's Air Canada's most up-to-date livery, as you can see there. Some people calling it the Trash Bandit. That's what a lot of the pilots call it, the Trash Bandit. we've given it a few names. Some people liking it, some people not. I like it myself. I think she looks pretty smart, like she's dressed in a suit and tie. John Ambrose, good day to you. Suzanne Thompson, 50 stars, thank you. Brian Mitchell, good morning. Katrina, hope you in Germany are well today. Brian giving a shout out to Katrina Ina. Sasso and Seski, good day to you. Mikey Van der Aaron, great to see you here, like I said, mate. Lee Russell, good morning to you. Claire Colville, Qatar is going to meet my husband. Wow, how about that, Claire? Fantastic. Stevie Tudor Wilkinson. Okay, Stevie, not sure on that, but this is the first time I think we've ever seen the Turkish Dreamliner in at London Heathrow, I think. Quite a few people here to see BOAC off. Can't say we have seen her at height. Yeah, boss. Oh, look at that. United 787-10 on the push. Already fired up. Oh, well, that's... And Stevie Tudor Wilkinson saying... my behind on Facebook Android, if you tap the screen in the top left corner is a square. If you tap on it, it shrinks the screen down. Then you're able to continue using your phone, tablet. I never knew. Oh, yes, yes, I know what he's talking about. You get a little screen in screen, don't you? That's fantastic. Oh, that's great, mate. He's just found that out. You're not behind the scenes, Stevie. Behind the times, should I say. But that is great to hear that you just found that out. That's brilliant. A350, just about to fire it up. Yeah! Big carbon wing, man. I think the largest piece of carbon on that jet, the largest piece of carbon on the A350 is the underwing section, which is all carbon. The whole entire thing, folks. Can you imagine that? What other piece of carbon can you think that is so big? Obviously, individual components and the like, but still got his elevators in a downward position. They should go to the neutral position quite soon, I'd imagine. Again, the distinctive conical APU design on the Dreamliner. And this, of course, is the Dash 10, folks, the big, long, extended. There they go. Elevators now in neutral. Turkish Airlines just about to... oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. It was a optical illusion. Turkish about to photobomb. You can see how long the... Actually, it's a 9, isn't it? Is that a 10 or a 9? Yeah, it is a 10, isn't it? Yeah, you can see the difference in length now between the 9 and the 10. About to photobomb it now. Bosh. I think it's a 10. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, I said she is a 10 indeed. Look at that Turkish Dreamliner. I don't know if you've ever looked at... that's firing up that engine very slowly, isn't it? Chicago bound. To the artist! Caleb Weather Dude. G'day. See the blue exhaust tip. Quite a long start-up procedure on that number 2. Sue Kenworthy, Donna O'Brien, Katrina Ina, 50 stars, Vinny Price. Hey Vinny, how you doing? Wow, it's a long wind up. Dolly Latif, Paul Green. Wow. Comments. Crazy amount of comments. I would have. I was always under the impression that the tug operator would normally only leave or signal cheerio once all engines were up and running. But obviously, quite happy to. Oh, WMB, you have a very... Oh, okay. Survey aircraft that goes up and down. It goes up and down, doing, yes, surveying the local area. Ian McDermott loving the engine cowling shape, yeah. Scallop shape for noise and also for fuel efficiency. Reduced drag, but also for noise as well. Because obviously, one of the largest problems that aircraft designers have always come up against is noise that's created by the undercarriage. When they drop the undercarriage on a 747, it makes a serious amount of noise with the wind whistling through all the parts and componentry. They've even looked at ways of putting some kind of a barrier around them and netting and stuff like that. Nothing's ever worked, of course, but wow, beautiful strong smell of kerosene right there. And we have workhorse of the skies, 4-door 777-200 with British Airways making its way out to departure now. Air Canada's big stretched 777-300, the 5-door coming out. Big long nose on, so obviously needing to use up all of the runway to get her nose all the way across, much like Concorde used to, of course. Quite fly, 360. Turn and burn. Yeah! Oh, she's a dirty girl, look. Look at her flaps, man. Filthy, dirty flaps there. Whereas I did notice, wow, look at that. Could make a racket. Rolls-Royce power. Trent 800s, folks. She might rattle and roll as she goes past us. Hans WH, welcome. And David Baldwin. Sandy. Oh, Sandy and Dylan. Dylan's watching with his mum. G'day, Dylan. Welcome all the way down there in Australia. Here we go. The Air Canada. Yeah, I know what you mean. It was an abrupt pull-up, wasn't it? He did pull up quite abruptly, but he's all right. As is this old boy. See, she's got dirty flaps, man. All the wing components. As she's all that oil and well, not so much oil. It's more actually brake dust and tyre debris that comes off the wheels and tyres. Obviously. When they're, oh, look at Cathay. Who wanted Cathay? And there she is. Yeah, mostly all. Obviously, it's not hydraulic because you wouldn't have leaking hydraulics like United's. Blimey, you know, under the circumstances, it's crazy to think that we're standing here and we're like, which way do I point the bleeding camera? Which is great. Is that GP? Oh, bless him. Fire it up. Bumped into a fella from Airbus at Richmond the other day. Lots of people coming up saying hello, which was quite surprising, being out of my normal environment. In Richmond, people coming up, Jerry, and all that sort of thing. It's quite crazy, really. Great to see you, mate. Gave him my card. Works airside at Toulouse. Super stretch. Bullshit, nearly getting beaten by Tottenham last night. I tell you what, though, I've got to be honest with you. I'm very impressed with what Sky have done with the audio, just like what we talked about. And the guys last night, whoever were working the buttons last night, he was on ball. He was on form, because he got the and the shouts and the screams whenever there was an incident, you know, like a corner or a foul or something like that. They had the buttons down to a T. So hopefully it's just going to progress better and better and better. And before we know it, don't need anyone in the stand. No, of course you don't. Of course you need people in the stand. Even had the whistling, you know, when they whistle. Hey, Tony, we're going to go out at a top runway today. Hey. What about Finny? Forget Finny, Tony. We're going out. Michael. Welcome, Michael Corpus, to Executive. Oliver Sims, beautiful aircraft, A350 1000, so good, and one that will be around for a long time indeed. Have to say though, good thing that something that I read, although the A380 is already at the end of its life, 14 years in, and she's already being scrapped. Air France doing one final fly past in July, or fly over, with a number of their CEOs from KLM and Air France. Hey, how you doing? Bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi. Go on, son. Yeah. CFM 56 power, folks. Very popular engine, powering, I'd say, you look at the global fleet, 737s and short A300, A310, A319, 318, 320s, and so on and so forth. Is this their 1K? What's the best way to tell, folks? This is the, by the looks of it. Yeah, it is the 1000. Look, she's a big, long girl. And of course, she's got the 6 trucks. Yeah. It's the plastic, fantastic, folks. Massive amount of carbon goes into building that aircraft. Fuselage all carbon, wing all carbon. Of course, wings assembled here in the UK. But the lower section of that wing comes in from Spain, believe it or not. Shipped in on the Beluga XL into Broughton in Wales, then attached to the upper section, obviously with the ribs in between. John Hawkes, good day, welcome to membership, John. Andy Crawley, welcome to first class, Andy. Welcome all newbie. It is the 1000 WWNB, yes, thank you, my friend. Obviously, sometimes at an angle like that, when you're looking on a small, little, tiny monitor, the best way to tell is obviously the fact that she's got the 6-cart undercarriage, or should I say, it's actually the 3-truck, the tri-truck. Undercarriage assembly. Bigfoot assembly, same as the 777. 900 has the 2-truck, the double truck. Mr. Righty, not a Cuban cigar, a carbon cigar. Oh, I like that. I like that. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Yes. Oliver Sims, Darren Golding. G'day, Darren. Chris Scapaloo, Nick McNair. My old hotel running around like headless chickens as they have football teams staying for one night. Wow. Jeff Anderson, good afternoon to you. Okay. Yeah. Looks like this Cathay 1000 is going to be jumped by this BA Dreamliner just coming out on intersect right here, folks. Oh, Neil Tattersal's dog is glued. He's going to turn it and burn it, this boy. Here we go. What's this? What's this? Bite it. See him off. Yeah. Watch that wing build up its flex. Starting to flex its muscles already, man. Little bit of a here we go. Good friend Ian Calton flies these, of course. Wow, yeah. Yeah, 2 in 1 shot. Don't often see that. Burning the oil. Look how oily and burny those XWBs are, man. Look like old flipping 767 going up there, look. I think it's an ongoing issue that Rolls-Royce are basically working on to reduce that oil burn. Quite a few people here, people in their cars have turned up. Got the array of aviation fans, photographers and the like here to see off BOAC. A couple of fellas down there. Oh, bless, man. Oh, isn't that nice, man? Who are these guys here, look? Pretty cool, pretty cool. Got a few, be careful with those old fella there. So she's still not on radar, no? Still not on radar yet. Got a little bit of a lull, right? Talk to the audience now. Good opportunity. Let's just scanning the field just to see whether there's anything to stick our nose in and have a little gander. Emirates 777. Darren Steggles. Good afternoon to you, Darren. Jeff Anderson, Paul Skilling, Stevie Luscombe, Oliver Sims, Andy. That climb though, yeah. Talking about the A350, I'm imagining Keith Grafton, Scotty Tarpley, Paul Skilling. Good afternoon to everybody. TCC, go chase that Dreamliner. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, both aircraft in the same shot. Stevie Luscombe, Ian D loving the winglets. Yeah, of course, the all carbon winglet on the 350. Same as the A330 Neo variant, folks. Still not seeing many Neos coming in here at the moment, but hopefully. WWNB SAS Bandit 320 Neo, great livery on finals. Oh, he likes the new livery. I got to be honest with you, I like the new livery. I just don't know about the flash of blue on the engine cowl. Sort of throws me off. Makes it look like it's a, you know, they've borrowed a couple of spare nacelles from another aircraft. That because, you know, just makes you wonder, doesn't it? That's quite a rare old jet over there, folks, that we haven't seen. We don't see in I should say peacetime here in at London Heathrow very often. And of course you've got Negus off there in the distance. Now Landor's where did Landor go? Was it Bournemouth or Cardiff? One of the two. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, we're hearing mixed reports, folks, in terms of what British Airways are planning with their 747 fleet. I'm guessing it is just a time thing, isn't it? It's up against the clock. We're all up against the clock in terms of, you know, the longer this drags out, the more aircraft are going to, the more the aircraft fleets are going to deplete due to the fact that they cost a lot of money to keep them, you know, on the books. And of course, demand. If the demand isn't there on the international routes, then the aircraft will be taken out of service. But it'll be, of course, the 747s first that will take the cut, the hit, and the 380s. Whether they're going to keep the entire 380 fleet on, we don't know at this stage. Interesting. Thunderbolt Dragon Airbus A350 1000 flap support structures and fairings are made by Saab in Linköping in Sweden. Wow, that's great information. Of course, componentry for the Airbus. It's a bit like any aircraft, you know, components manufactured by independent manufacturing companies that have been in business for many years, manufacturing. They get the contract, and so these guys were obviously awarded the contract way back in the day. Airbus saying that apparently, if it wasn't for the A380, they wouldn't be there where they are today in terms of future development, i.e. the A350, because the A380 taught them a lot in development characteristics. So therefore, even though it's come and gone very quickly, it has helped Airbus immensely on their development program for the A350. And subsequently, I'd imagine for the A330 Neo and the Neos themselves, just in terms of technology. I thought it was going to go around then. What does it sound? Sprog pilot, maybe. So hopefully that'll come past us. Nobby Clark. Charchie's fine, mate. Graham Latter says his 2 hoodies arrived in New Zealand today. Great. Have been waiting. Wow. Are they ones that I sent? They're packed and sent by yours truly, Graham. Wow, smell that rubber. That's scratch and sniff number 4.2, folks. I think 4.2 for Dunlop, 4.4 for Michelin. Only joking. Well, that's what I thought. I thought it was all. I don't know. Wow, that was January. That was actually Jilly who sent them. Wow. Yeah. So, Graham, that wasn't packed by me. That was packed by Jilly back in January. Oh, thanks for your patience, mate. Wow, that's a... Wow, look at the... it looks like there's a bit of thermal activity around about 100 foot out, or even lower. Southwesterlies at the moment, so could get a little bit of sort of like turbulent activity going on from the sheds at the moment. That's why we're seeing them land so far down the runway. Look at that. No, it's all been US, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't. That made me think as well, you know. Got a good friend, Andrew, going out, flying out of London Heathrow on a PPE flight, Virgin Atlantic later on, folks. We got a DHL aircraft on finals, followed by an Air China A330-200. That is the DHL the 757, or is it the A310? Let's just have a little look. Got a lufty Neo inbound. Behind him, Air China's A330-200. Over the top of us, in from Edinburgh. Where is that DHL? Okay, or is that the DHL coming out, possibly? No, it's Lufty. Lufty Neo, okay. Got another Air China, so got Air China 330-200, one after the other, bish, bosh, bash. And of course, don't forget this evening, folks, we're in it for the long haul tonight. Back live around about 2:30 this afternoon. Best time for dentists, that, isn't it? 2:30. Oh, God. Mark Robertson, welcome to Superclass, Mark. Wow, you guys, man. James, anyone flying on that sim right now? Pratt & Whitney engines. Ironically enough, Lufthansa having to lease a number of A320 aircraft even after they've taken delivery of their new Neo aircraft because of the problems that they've experienced with the Pratt & Whitney PW power plant. The dry shaft system, I think, as well as possible low pressure turbine blades as well. So those aircraft needing to be, the engines at least needing to be repaired or upgraded, much like the Trent 1000 engines on the Dreamliners. Good to see, though, as we've seen for months and months and months, no Virgin Atlantic Dreamliners currently sitting outside of their facilities. Do you remember we used to see at least two Dreamliners sitting over there with engines removed, and here we have a beautiful Virgin Atlantic 350 coming out right now. A330 on approach. It's the ski jumper inbound. Oh, Arnold's Bertrand. Who's playing Brighton? Who's playing Brighton later? Arsenal. Arsenal playing Brighton, is it? Arsenal! Wow. Oh, is this a Star Alliance? Is this Star Alliance? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at the wing flexing, folks. Got quite a bit of thermal activity going on there. Reach forward, son. Reach forward. Land it. Land it. Yeah, look at that. Oh, easy, son. Nice. That's the Trent 700 engine, folks. A very, very popular power plant for the Airbus A330, utilising not the sliding type reverser, but but what's known as a clamshell reverser. She's obviously closed them up now, but the next one that's coming in, we'll see if we can get a little shot of those clamshells opening up, pushing the air forward and slowing the aircraft down. Not a lot of call for it today, it has to be said, because it's quite a stiff breeze. Look at this beautiful Virgin 350 in the sunlight. Mark Robertson, welcome, Mark. Big shout out to Stu Rawlinson, if you're watching, Stu. Great to be in touch. Oh, this is our good friend from he's watching me live right now. Wow, that's crazy. Big shout out to Roman. Become a good friend of ours here on Big Jet TV. Looking forward to doing some stuff with Roman in the future with Aqualine. Aqualine being a freight only and specialist charter organisation working around the clock at the moment overseas with their PPE shipments. Just taken on another 747 freighter, which we are hoping to do some stuff with them in the future as soon as we get travel, the capability to travel. We're literally on their books, folks, to do some stuff with Aqualine. Check them out. I put out a little video for them a few weeks ago. Very grateful for that, of course, and always a pleasure to help anybody with our capabilities in terms of being able to put productions together, even if they're short. Start up somewhere. Can you hear that? American Airlines 777-300. Hey, it's the Cathay boys. Hey, hey. They probably just dispatched that 350. Yeah, that's a set of GEs firing up on that triple. Easy, son. Yeah. It's just that little sort of like, you know, pocket of air as he's about to touch down. It's sort of like, you know, he's got to literally let everything off, throttles back, drop the aircraft to the ground, because the thermals are just trying to keep them up there. Virgin's A350 sitting there waiting to go out right now. I've got a Dreamliner on its way out. I've got 2 Dreamliners on their way out. Of course, don't forget, folks, we are here for a very special occasion, a very poignant occasion as well, it has to be said. So, good day to Roman. Shout out to Tom Lawson from Red Hill, watching us right now. Of course, mentioning indeed what a sad day it will be. We're not speculating at this stage that this is the be-all and end-all of the Boeing 747 fleet with British Airways. As you know, my glass always remains half full, so I'm pretty optimistic in terms of seeing them operate. Adrian MG53 had a Spitfire flyover. Hoping to do some stuff with those folks at the BBMF in the future, folks. Already put a call out to them, see how responsive they are. Of course, the BBMF hangar is available to visit. Not at the moment, I don't think, but to in peacetime, normal time. You're able to visit there on weekdays, have a stroll around. Very, very nice people at the BBMF as well. Very always willing to talk and chat. So watch. Let's see if we can get these engine reversers. Another set of Trent 700s on this A330-200. Struggling a little bit with the thermal still. You can see the tops of the trees. Yeah, there we go. Look, there it is. She's struggling a little bit, making a few adjustments. But here we go. Watch for the engine. Easy, son. There they are. Yeah. Shout out to James's dad, who's 50 today. A mere youngster today. James is 50. Happy birthday, my friend. Mick Forrester is celebrating his 60th birthday with a barbecue and us on in the background. There you go, Mick, and to all his mates, all his friends and family who may be there. Social distancing around the garden, I'd imagine. Yeah, WWNB just mentioning and noticing there the pitch and roll, the adjustments that he's having to make. And that is down to primarily, here we go, let's just watch this go out. Here we go. Primarily down to the wind that comes across the airfield from the south and hits those sheds, and then obviously continues to roll out and cause a turbulent approach just as he's... Here we go. Yeah! Beautiful, man, beautiful. Just gonna, wow. Give me a hot brake departure, possibly. She's long-ish. Sorry about that. Gear up. Oh, a little bit. Little bit of a synchronisation delay on the undercarriage being folded up. Here's another one, sending them out like lanks. Train spotting, loving the dreamline. Go on, son. Look at that wing. Look at that wing, man. Great. Yeah, starting up one of those narrow bodies over there by the sounds of it. Just heard an APU fire up, I think. A330 on the fire up, wasn't it? With CF6 power. Here we go. Oh, baby, listen to this. And again. Yeah. Look at the condensation in the intakes. Get it. Yeah, man. 777-300 ER. Big set of 115Bs on her. 230,000 pounds of thrust, folks. Right there. In your face. When you consider that compared to Pratt & Whitney JT8Ds on a 707, it's got more power in half of one engine than he has the entire 4 engines of an old 707. From beginning to D's with you, shiv-a-doo. Train spotting fan. Tall and staunch. Interesting. There we go, Colin Bonham, love it. No surprise on condensation at 1.3. Get this, folks. Listen to this. Stop. Don't. Listen. 1.3 tons of air going through those engines every second. Just think about that for a moment. Now that is pretty impressive, isn't it? Those big, ginormous carbon composite fan blades gulping 1.3 tons of air per second. Now this is the other. You see the Trent 700 engine. Trent 700, whichever you want to call it. Of course, the newer up-rated engine on the Neo aircraft is the Trent 7000 engine. But this is the, I think this is a CF6 powered A330. Oh, smell that. I think their CF6 is on this. Either that or their Pratt & Whitney PW4000s on the Delta A330 that you can see here. Great to see the Delta 330 in town. I think they're CF6, and the reason why I say that is because just judging by the sound, imagine 4 of those on a Virgin 747. I don't really know. Paul Waddington. Rogue, a fully loaded Vauxhall Corsa every second. That's a way to think about it, isn't it? Hey. Go on, son. Do a intersecting departure from here. No, he won't, will he? Go full length. Like Pratt & Whitney's possibly. Ian Joyce, that's brilliant. That's fantastic, mate. Ben, welcome to Economy, Ben. Somebody asking where that Delta's headed. By the looks of it, let's just have a little look. She's headed to Atlanta, ATL. Jeff Anderson asking that. Distinctive way to tell an A330 from that point of view anyway, is that huge where the horizontal stabilizers meet the fuselage for the trim, the stabilizer trim. It's a moving part. It's actually a moving structure, as well as the elevators being the part that obviously controls the takeoff, the upward movement of the aircraft and getting the nose up in the air. During flight, the trim, the stabilizer itself will be trimmed automatically by the aircraft to keep the aircraft's nose at a certain attitude in order to maximize its fuel efficiency and its entire sort of angle of attack. JF Bryson, no, we're just saying that she's going to pastures new, shall we say, at this point in time. Got another workhorse 4-door coming out with British Airways. Scott McLeod, yes, interesting that you should say that the A330 does look nose heavy. Interesting that the Boeing 777, well, let's just talk about the A330. If you look at the front undercarriage there, she is quite squat, and she does squat quite low. Oh, look at this. I was going to say, blimey, hold on a minute. Oh, is Is this China Eastern, perhaps? Yeah. Let's just see the little bit of easy, easy, easy. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Airbus, because of that nose down attitude with the A330, Airbus developed the freighter with an extension on the front undercarriage bay to level the aircraft out, for making it easier, of course, for freight to be loaded. Same sort of thing with the 777 there, has an option to extend the front undercarriage to bring it a little bit more level, because that does also have a pitch down angle to it. And I think you'll find that that Norwind 777 over there is actually utilising the the front leg extension, the front undercarriage extension, to pitch the front of the aircraft up. Just basically makes it easier when they're loading the freight, so that they're not literally pushing it uphill. Wow, look at this. We have, ladies and gentlemen, a stack. We've got a stack. Look at that. Look at that. Like a bit of stack. So now, as he approaches now, any time now, you'll see where he'll get a little bit of that sort of turbulent air that will be coming off those sheds there. You see the wind whips up over those sheds and hits them just around about 150 feet in. There it is, just catching a little bit of side slip. She'll be pointing into the prevailing winds at the moment, but as you can see, she's bobbing about a little bit. Bubbity bibbity bubbity boo. All of British Airways Neo freight fleet utilising the LEAP 1A engine. Leading Edge Aviation Performance is what LEAP stands for. And that LEAP engine, manufactured by a joint venture, Dreamliner Inbound, Air Canada's Trash Bandit, as they call her. The pilots call her that, we don't. So don't have a go at me. I think it looks lovely. Little bit of Amy Winehouse going on there with a flick at the front. Got 3 wide bodies sitting there at the ready for departure. Another carbon aircraft here, pure woven carbon fuselage. Makes it a lot easier to fly on, folks. Reducing the stresses on the human being, basically, because they can reduce the amount of pressurization in the cabin. See, she's got a little bit of wing bounce on her. Look at the wings flexing, man. Okay, so we're massively late on the whole jumbo thing, GP. Okay, BOAC is apparently pushed and started as of 1:02. Okay, she's pushing now. Indeed, she is. There she is, folks. BOAC is on the push. Get the tissues ready. And of course, she'll taxi right past our position here. Colin Bonham, BOAC on radar, thank you. Alan Tomkinson, indeed. Lots of people coming on saying that obviously on their individual flight apps, flight radar apps, Flight Radar 24, and of course the one that I use, Plane Finder, folks. Great app. Developed by a couple of fellas here in the UK. That's why I use it. Oh, here comes that funky Virgin Atlantic. I think that's a service truck. Oh, there we go. Ian Joyce. Yes, very interesting that it does. The Leap does have a bulge. I think that's for possibly. It could be anything. Oil coolers, any particular component, but it is not symmetrical. You're absolutely right. Hopefully, we'll get one head on. So different type of spool up on the CF6 compared to the long-winded spool up that you get with the Trent 7. Mini Morgs, Paul Skilling, N-Team, GT, Harry, Gareth Davis, Adrian, MG53, Mr. Wrighty, Brandon Baker. Clear takeoff, 27 right. She's pointing this way, folks. She's going to come right past our position. Wow, how many bloody stages did that have? 4-stage spooler. Come on, son. Look at the speed, man. 160 on the rotate. V1, she's clear to fly. V2, rotate. Yeah. Maybe a puff of brake dust. Next one's already spooling up behind me. And of course, folks, don't forget that this 747 that's going out is the noise, the atmosphere, something that we've been spoilt with over the years on Big Jet TV. The RB211s. Here we go. Growler. She's going to be a growler. Whoa! Bus. I'll tell you what they have been doing though, British Airways, they've been cleaning their aircraft. I did see a very clean 200 earlier on. Normally used to seeing very sort of like very grubby wings and flaps on those 200s, even the 300s now. But looks like they've been going through some kind of a cleaning schedule. Wow, look at that, look. All right, mate? Yeah, man. You bust it in, have you? Oh, wow. Good lad. Coming all the way from East London. Wow, fair play. Well, right, Laura Ribbon, Stevie Luscombe, Nobby Clark, love that Swiss A220. Do we have a Swiss? Oh, is that what he's talking about now? BOAC's coming out. The Swiss A220 on the approach. Let's just grab this. Who said that? Oh. Okay, I'm going to go quiet on the communications here, folks, just because we're cutting this together for some very special people on this Boeing 747. So let's just all enjoy this together. And all cross our fingers that the 747 fleet will continue to fly. I remember us putting a petition together 3 years ago asking British Airways to paint one of their 747s in the BOAC livery. Whether it was us who started that whole thing off, I don't know, but they probably had it already pre-planned. But maybe we should have another one to say keep her flying. It's got to be the last one to fly, innit? You can't have you can't be scrapping this one when you've got all the other ones. Not that I'd want any of them scrapped, to be perfectly honest with you. Lots of lampposts and stuff in the way. We'll get a great shot of her and audio as well when she comes out. Etihad's Dreamliner 10 going out there, the super stretch, longest variant of the Dreamliner. But we're going to hear this 747, even as soon as, because the wind's obviously blowing in this direction, so obviously that nasty brick monstrosity is going to be blanking it there, but only there. After that, we'll start to hear her engines as she approaches us. Keep your comments coming, folks. Emojis, all your love. Throw the love hearts out there for BOAC. There it is, folks. There it is. She'll be back. Come on, girl. She'll be back. Craig Wharton, yeah, that's the way I would deem that. No wing wave, therefore no retirement. I'll go along with that. Jeff Anderson, if I was the captain, I would hand fly her the entire way. I think they don't get up much higher than 25,000 feet before they start the descent. She'll be down in Cardiff before probably before I get home, to be honest with you. Graham Taplin, Keith Grafton, Daniel Bergstrom, she will be back. Andrew Grange, Stephen Lusk and Phil Griffiths, can still hear her rumbling off there in the background. Paul Skilling, yes she will. Jerry, Noah Hart, I refuse to believe it is gone if they didn't wing wave. She'll be back. Noah Hart, yes. Let's just all remain positive on that front, folks. Look great there, Jezza. Nicely done, son. Steve Green saying, Chris Payne, Plain Mad Web. Thank you, Jerry, for that beautiful moment. And thank you for being with us, folks. Don't forget, we'll be back this afternoon, round about 3:15. Earlier than that, 2:30. Basically in an hour. Oh my good God. I've got to go and grab something to eat, folks. I know we've got this Etihad 10 coming out, but I've got to go and grab something to eat. So listen, join us back here in around about 1 hour, folks, for more action here on Big Jet TV. And of course, we're going to go right the way through till dark. Got to dash, got to eat. So that I'm ready for you folks when I get back here this afternoon. More action to come on Big Jet TV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a little bit. Cheers, bye. Okay, GP, go quick.